This episode of the Ponder Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Montana Ridge Outfitters. You love hunting and the outdoors, and so do we, and that's why we've created a way for you to enjoy it every month. With Montana Ridge Outfitters Shirt of the Month Club, subscribers get a new shirt with one of the top hunting ranches, guide services, or dealers from the United States and around the world. With this shirt style of your choice, members receive a 5x7 color card that has pictures, information related to each month's subjects. In addition, our website features previous month shirts as well as MRO merchandise. Go to MontanaRidgeGear.com and select a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription and begin receiving your packages in the mail the following month. Now, as a member, you will not know what month's subject will be until you receive it in the mail. Thank you for being one of us, and we look forward to supplying you with next month's shirt. Again, that's MontanaRidgeGear.com. Also being a sponsor is Heroes Heating and Air, servicing the North Texas area for your heating and air conditioning needs. They can service your existing unit or design a complete brand new system. Whether it's just for a service or a new install, pick up the phone and give them a call, 940-597-9638. The Lions putting up basketball scores. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponder Lion Football Show, right here on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media, as the Lions, after a slow start, just absolutely explode for 50 points in the second and third quarters to outpace Pilot Point 70-3. You'd like to have seen the Lions rebound better, maybe hit some more free throws, but hey, that's a perfect way to start district play. Tyson Price, 295 yards, 6 touchdowns. Case Peacock with another amazing game on the night. 10 catches, 207 yards, 5 touchdowns. Cooper Reynolds, 2 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown, another interception. And speaking of, for all the talk about the offense, that defense, holding Pilot Point to 6 points, 3 interceptions, offensively rushing 258 yards, holding them to only 41 yards on 22 attempts. Just an all-around dominant win for the Lions as they go to 1-1 in district play, 3-3 overall. And this week they have Boyd and it's homecoming. So what we're going to do is what we do each and every week, and that's talk to the head coach of the Ponder Lions, Coach Marcus Schultz. We'll talk about the Pilot Point win. We'll talk about the Boyd matchup, and we'll talk about District 4-3A when we come back right here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponder Football Show on L4 Media. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at L4FRclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Terry Bennett back here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponders Football Show. Now joined by the head coach of the Lions, Coach Marcus Schultz. And Coach, congratulations. A big win on the scoreboard, but more importantly, a big win in district. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, Terry, it was it was one of those games that we finally, I think, put a complete game together in all phases. Our offense, defense, special teams, all three seemed to be clicking. And, seeing our kids, we started pretty rough, probably, and I said it on the headsets after our first offensive series. I said, this is probably the worst start we could have had other than throwing a pick six. And so, we ended up giving them the ball down there inside the 10-yard line, and defense came out and held them to a field goal. And then our kids woke up a little bit. And so, it was fun to watch. It was fun to see. It was a district game, and I think our kids saw, some of the scores that that had happened in the past in the previous Ponder and Pilot Point contest. And so, us, not ever beating Pilot Point being 7-0, they saw some of that stuff, and, they wanted to try to reverse some of the previous games.
Yeah, you talk about it. That first quarter, it was 6-3. Y'all were up, and then y'all explode in that second and third quarter. Tyson Price, once again, a marvelous game. 295 yards through the air, 75 on the ground. As a sophomore, he's really starting to develop, Coach.
He is, and it's fun to see. And like I've said many times, we had a strong battle. We had two athletes and two kids that competed, at the end of spring and all summer, and Gage Ursh and Tyson Price. And so those two guys, battled back and forth, and it was fun to watch. But Tyson has definitely started to come out of his shell a little bit, and, as well as the rest of our sophomore group. We start 15 sophomores and one freshman. And so, seeing those kids start to understand the Friday night lights and the Friday night feel, and being 6 weeks in, or for us having 6 games now under our belt, I think our kids are finally starting to understand the pace of the game, and those younger kids are seeing what's expected of them. But yeah, Tyson's having a phenomenal job, and it's always fun to have a Cooper Reynolds or a Case Peacock, who both had great games. Case went over 200 and 5 touchdowns and set a school record. And so, being able to do that and having those weapons, it's pretty fun.
You talk about him, he's not getting the volume he did last year because of the offensive systems, but man, the value, 687 yards on 35 catches, averaging almost 20 yards a catch. It's got to feel good to know that you've got that guy on third down when you need him.
Oh, absolutely. And so, he's a special player. He's a special kid, and I've said it since we got here. And I'll say it, he said it when me and him had our first coach and player meeting. His biggest thing was, Coach, I don't care what my yards are. I don't care how many touchdowns or what records I may be able to set. He said, I want to get in the playoffs and win the first playoff game for this school. He said so. He said, whatever we need to do. And so, big part was for us is moving our guys to offense and defensive side of the ball. And so a lot of those guys are two-way guys. And, obviously Case having a 5 touchdown night, set a school record. The week before we had Cooper Reynolds who set a school record with 3 interceptions. And now Cooper had another interception the other night, putting him at 8 interceptions on the year through 6 games. And so, those guys are special players, and they're a big part and a big reason why they're team captains as well.
Well, you talk about making the playoffs. Well, you've got Boyd, you've got Peachter the next 2 weeks. You take care of those teams, you're in the playoffs. When you look at Boyd, what are your thoughts on the Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets are good, man. And it's, they're 0-7, but they've played a tough schedule. And so you can't sit there sometimes and look at a record and base that off of, the quality of team they are. Coach Ritchie does a great job with those guys. And, they're big up front. They're big O-line, D-line. They're going to be skilled. They're a little quarterback. McIntyre does a great job. And so, we know that they're going to come out swinging, and, it's going to be the same thing as it was last week. We told our kids we've got to withstand the first couple of punches and get settled in and ready for the game. And, I think if we can do that, always having homecoming and it being a homecoming game is sometimes a distraction. And so, we've got to make sure that our kids are focused and their heads are in the right place when we get ready to kick off on Friday night. And, we've had a great week of practice. Our kids have had a lot of energy this week. And so I think they know what the goal is, but, we're taking it day by day and week by week. And, they're going to be ready for Boyd.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank the head coach of the Lions, Marcus Schultz, for joining us here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponders football show. Sorry, it's later in the week. Next week, it'll be later in the week as well, and then we'll get back to the Tuesday schedule. The last couple weeks has just been really weird. I honestly didn't know how I was going to do this show this morning. I use internet to call the coaches because I run it through my computer, which runs through my board and everything. And last night, about 3 p.m., the internet went out in the studio. Last week, it was storms. Last week, storms knocked out the electricity from Wednesday night to Thursday. This week, it was internet. And then like 15 minutes before I was supposed to call Coach Schultz, the internet kicks back on, and luckily we were able to get it through. So appreciative of that. But next week, it'll be late again Thursday. And then once next week passes, the next week we'll get back to the Tuesday shows, and the shows should be up by Wednesday. Usually by Tuesday, by 2 or 3 o'clock, but at worst at Wednesday. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email me, Terry at S2Sport.com. I already have a couple questions, but they're more for a couple weeks down the road, so I'll read them then. But anyway, just if you have a question for Coach Schultz, just say, or for me, or for anything about Ponder. Just simply put it in the thing, attention, Ponder Coaches Show, and I will read it. Also, if you like 3A football, that's just not District 4, 3A, or Ponder, well, then check out our state show. Grant Goodwin and I talk sideline to sideline, 3A each and every week. All things 3A across the state of Texas. We also do a 4A show and a 2A show, so check them out. And, hey, if Ponder keeps winning, I can tell you this, one of those games coming up will probably be talked about on that one because that Whitesboro game is looming large at the end of the season. That feels like that's going to be a seeding game. But let's take care of Boyd and Peaster first, and then we'll worry about all that. And until next week, this is the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponders Lion Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media.